Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Friday. It is Monday. I almost said Monday. It is Friday morning, November the 10th, 2017, episode number 215. So glad to see you here this morning, and I hope that your week has gone wonderful and that you are prepared to cap it off with the final, let's call it final work day, even though I know some people don't work on Fridays because everybody's work schedules are different, but it just is the final work day of sorts. So I hope that your week is going especially well. Today, where I am in Northeast Pennsylvania, it is very, very chilly outside. It is 28 degrees with a wind chill that they say is down into the teens, and some snow showers on the way, possibly coming out of New York State, which is north of us, which is very strange, but hey, here it is. You know, it's that time of year, so it's all right. And it is Veterans Day Eve, right? Tomorrow is Veterans Day. And I looked this up. You know, I always like to see the history. There's a lot of things that we take for granted and we really don't know the history of. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here. You can Google it yourself to get the full history of Veterans Day. But I thought I would at least read this part. Veterans Day is an official United States public holiday observed annually on November 11th. We know that. That honors military veterans. That is, persons who served in the United States Armed Forces. It coincides with other holidays, including Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, celebrated in other countries that mark the anniversary of the end of World War I. Major hostilities of World War I were formally ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. Great history right there. That's why we celebrate Veterans Day on the day that we do. And it's fantastic. Veterans Day is not to be confused with Memorial Day, a U.S. public holiday. Veterans Day celebrates the service of all U.S. military veterans, while Memorial Day honors those who died while in military service. So, take some time if you know a veteran and thank him. You know, I always go back to my grandfather. I've shared stories of him and his experiences and the lessons that he's passed on to me in his unique style of little ways. And he's like the guy I go to. And then I go to, the people that I know now that are that served in the military. And actually, my brother-in-law is one of the ones that comes right to the front of my mind. And I've got aunts and uncles who have been active, and I'm very appreciative for the security and safety that we have been given by the people who have been willing to make a sacrifice. So don't forget, tomorrow is Veterans Day. It is not marked by the #1 furniture sale day of the year. It is more important than that. That comes to my mind because I was at the furniture store yesterday. But anyways, things are good. The week is great. And on we go. Just think, 2 weeks from right now, you'll be waking up, rubbing your stomach, going, oh, man, I ate too much pie last night. It's going to be amazing. Thanksgiving is coming. So I've got some stories for you today, though. And this is kind of fun. So first story. This I have never heard of ever in my life. It's the craziest thing. There's a sad element to it, but very unique. It makes you almost go, what? And laugh. But there is a sad element to it. So the title of the article, it'll be in the show link so you can read it in entirety. The forgotten Italian tradition of building monumental food palaces. Okay, got that? Forgotten Italian tradition of building. So, in 1768, Austrian Princess Maria Carolina married Ferdinand IV, the King of Naples. To celebrate, they had a magnificent fake fortress built in front of the Neapolitan royal palace and decorated it with delicious food. At a signal from the king, a mob of Neapolitan commoners waded through a moat stocked with live fish, slipped through the mud, and grabbed all the food to the delight of the noble spectators. The event was a tradition of Naples and other Italian cities because nothing caps off a royal wedding or holiday like watching hungry people fight for food. Temporary temples, pyramids, castles were plastered in roast bread, cheese, which the poor risked their lives to gather. They called them cuccagna festivals. I might be saying that wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Cuccagna festivals, creating real-life cocaine-meant displaying massive quantities of fruit, cheese, meat, and bread in beautiful configurations. Also sometimes featured live pigs and bulls, which the commoners would come and hunt in front of the royalty watching for entertainment. Men with spears pursued loose bulls, while commoners climbed cucagna trees in the gardens. The trunks were covered in grease, so only the most nimble could pluck the whole live birds tied or nailed to the branches of the trees. Cucagnas were so popular that they were used to celebrate everything from saints' days to royal birthdays. Nobility usually sponsored the monuments. Insane. I mean, it goes on and on. I could keep reading. This is amazing that these things actually existed. Often, these cucagnas often turned bloody. Stampeding citizens crushed each other and fought over food. One Neapolitan king, Charles III, set up a fund for widows of the cucagna casualties. Seriously, guys, they built these massive things. You should see some of the pictures. You have to go and look at these, some of the pictures. These massive, elaborate scenes with food so that the starving people that they've been oppressing could come and get food, but they would almost kill each other and sometimes would kill each other to get the food to take home. And this was all for entertainment for royal festivals. Insane what people would do for food back then, right? That's part of it. And then two, that the royalty, instead of taking care of people, were doing this to them. It's absolutely amazing. So got to go to freedomconvo.com morning show. The link will be on there and you can see some of these pictures. Absolutely insane. It's kind of funny, moving on to the second article, that this is the second article that I chose. It's unique. And I chose it and then I was like, wait a minute. These two are connected. This is interesting. Why Americans have stopped eating leftovers. Now, we just read a story where the average person was so hungry that they would trample each other, had a chance to get a chunk of cheese or a bird or some kind of food. And now we're on to another article where Americans won't eat leftovers anymore. Really? Okay, so here we go. American consumers throw away 27 million tons of food each year, clogging landfills, generating greenhouse gases, and costing the economy an estimated $144 billion. The solution, however, could be simple. Get people to start eating leftovers again. Once the mainstay of weekday lunchboxes and thrifty home cooks, leftovers today constitute the single largest source of edible food waste in U.S. homes. It's a cultural shift that needs to happen for people to start eating leftovers. They have a little chart here, a graph, where how did they do this? It was almost 1,200 households in Nashville, Denver, and New York agreed to keep diaries of the items they tossed away and allowed researchers to dig through their trash afterwards to see what kind of food waste happened. The average person wastes 3.5 pounds of food per week. Of that, only a third consisted of inedible parts such as chicken bones and banana peels. They had a list. 35% of our food waste is inedible parts. 23% of the money you spend on food gets thrown away as leftovers. So you work hard for what you buy to eat. 23% of the money that you spend on food gets thrown out as leftovers. 20% is fruits and vegetables that have gone bad. 6% is baked goods. 5% liquids, oils, grease. 4% blah, blah, blah. 3 blah, blah, blah. A whole little chart there. You can go look at it somewhere. So leftovers plummeted in the 1960s when refrigeration and cheap food became plentiful. Although saving food had been patriotic during the World Wars and economically necessary in the century before them, rising incomes and agricultural productivity pushed thrift out of favor. Now, let me tell you, I personally have, I don't have to eat leftovers. Let's say that, okay? All right, I don't have to eat leftovers. But I have to eat leftovers. I can't, like, my mind is stuck. You know, it's funny. Good morning, Mom. And it's funny because I was raised in a home. If the food was on your plate, you ate it. Nothing got thrown away. And I don't have a problem with that. Now, here's where it becomes a sickness. This is a true story, guys. Last Friday, my wife and I and some other people went out to dinner. We had pizza at a specialty pizza place for dinner. That was last Friday night, okay? So a week ago today. On Saturday, we had a birthday party. There was quite a lot of people coming here. My wife and I had a conversation, how much pizza should we order? We were going to feed everybody pizza. That was the plan, pre-planned like a week before. And we calculated how much pizza we would need for the amount of people coming, and we ordered the pizza. And we ordered it from Wegmans, which Wegmans makes good pizza, but the pies are massive. We miscalculated on the massive side of pizza and on how much other food people were bringing. We ended up with 4 pizzas as leftovers. And we're talking about, these things got to be 24-inch pizzas. 4 of them. I have been eating pizza for lunch and dinner all the way until last night, and there's 3 slices left in the refrigerator in that kitchen over there. So I have been eating leftover pizza. I ate pizza Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I ate pizza 7 days straight, guys. That is when leftovers become a real issue, because I'm like, I can't throw it away. We paid for this. Guess what? I got to just throw it away. So I think there's a balance between eating leftovers and not wasting, and a sickness like what I have, where I just can't throw it away. So anyways, Americans are not eating leftovers, something to change in our world. So one last little story before we move on, guys. This is interesting. In Iceland, there's a 3-person committee that approves or rejects parents' decisions about what to name their children. 3 people in the country determine what names can be used in Iceland. Every month, submissions from parents or prospective parents reach the committee. On average, between 1/2 and 2/3 of the names proposed will be approved and entered into the official register. The other ones rejected. In 2016, the committee rejected a couple's petition to name their child Cleopatra because the letter C has no place in the Icelandic alphabet. Interesting, right? But it is not isolated to Iceland. That's funny. Isolated Iceland. Cool. In France, before 1993, names that described things, animals, or qualities, and names referring to political events were rejected by the government. A registrar is required to accept any name except one he deems not in the child's best interest, in which case he will refer the matter to a judge. In recent years, French courts have rejected such names as Nutella, Nutella is delicious, Prince William, and for a pair of twins, Joyeux and Patrista, which means happy and not sad, I guess. Meanwhile, Germany, your young child's name must correspond with their gender. If you want to argue, you'll have to file a suit in civil court. So they have limitations as well. Texas. Texan parents have a lot of leeway in terms of what they can name their child, but you cannot name your child a number, as in 1, 2, 3. That's the only limitation. Not bad. So anyways, I don't know. Imagine being limited on what you can name your child. That's very interesting. So on we go, guys. Let's see what's trending today. The top of the trends, the top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, Louis C.K. Number 2, the Seahawks. They won their football game last night, but they did lose one of their players to a torn ACL. Number 3, Walmart Black Friday 2017. Number 4, Roy Moore. Number 5, Veterans Day 2017. Number 6, Veterans Day. Ranked twice, just people typed it in 2 different ways. Number 7, Ezekiel Elliott, football player for the Dallas Cowboys. Number 8, Murder on the Orient Express. Number 9, Daddy's Home 2. The commercial for it on TV looks hysterical. Number 10, Allison Mack. Don't know who she is. So that is the top 10 things searched on Google yesterday. Let's go check some trending news. Top of the list, Richard Sherman, who we just mentioned. Sherman out for season after rupturing his Achilles. Next, we have the New York City Fire Department. Health Department closes Harlem Pre-K after 3-year-old dies. Severe, let's see here. Child was given a grilled cheese when educators knew he was severely allergic to dairy. Man, Sad story. Next thing, John Lewis. John Lewis unveils its Christmas advert for 2017 as Moz the Monster comes out from under the bed. Next, we have Keith Schiller. Trump bodyguard Keith Schiller testifies Russian offered Trump women was turned down. Next, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico hit by new power outage after repairs. Then we have Dundalk, Maryland. Baltimore County Police investigate double shooting in Dundalk. Then we have Leachville, Arkansas. Shopping cart fentanyl warning removed by police department. Don't know what that story is, but it's on there if you want to go see it on Facebook's trending news. After that, we have United States Air Force. Texas shooter's history should have been reported. And that is our trending news for this morning, guys. On we go. How about a passage of wisdom here today? Today's passage of wisdom is, now this one, okay. This passage is a great, insightful passage of wisdom. And we can look at it from many angles. There's one angle that you can look at it from that will really not be the right way, though. Okay? So let's read this passage of wisdom, and then we'll just break it down very quickly, okay? The passage is Proverbs 27, verses 5 and 6. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. Now, what does that mean? I think we all know what it means. Wounds from a friend can be trusted. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. This very simply means that if we love somebody and care about them, and we see them going down a dangerous path, if we love them, we'll help them. The other part of it is we have to be open to accepting the guidance, because wounds from a friend can be trusted. Sometimes when we're corrected, it doesn't feel right. It hurts. But wounds from a friend can be trusted, and it's much better than multiple kisses from somebody who doesn't care about you, or that you might be heading towards disaster. Now, where this can be dangerous, guys, is as friends, the people who all of a sudden decide that they think that they are the masters of judgment, and it's their responsibility to tell everybody that they care about that you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. That is not what this passage says. Not at all. Okay? So that's not what it's about. But it is about a frame of mind and being open to accepting feedback and guidance from somebody who loves you so dearly that they see you heading in the wrong direction that could hurt you for the long haul. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. When you're raising your children, right, it's always that tug of war where your child has done wrong and you need to punish them, but yet you want them to like you. It's better to guide your child than have them as a best friend without guidance. That's a great example right there. I'm glad I thought of that one, because it is a tug of war. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. Let's pray, guys, and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, thank you for this Friday morning. Thank you for the cold air that's killing all the pollen and the disease and the bugs that are outside. Well, the bugs, we need the bugs, but all the stuff that we just don't want out there. Father, thank you for this time of season when things get cold and start to slow down from our hectic summer times. Although people who are living in the South, they probably are continuing on with their hectic schedule and sports and things. I don't know how they do it, but Father, thank you for this time of rest that I personally appreciate so much. Father, I thank you for the words that you've given us today. Help us to have open hearts and minds, and allow for the people who are closest to us, who care truly about us, to give us guidance, and that we take it, and before reacting, maybe we just think on it and soak on it a little bit and see if we can understand what they're seeing that we aren't seeing. That's when it's the hardest, is when somebody sees things that are affecting us in a negative way, but we don't personally see it. Help us to be open to that if we need to today. And help to give the person the courage that they would confront us, and give them the proper words that they can communicate with us if they are going to, in a way that we can hear it better instead of it being an altercation. Father, I want to pray today also for all the veterans out there. Father, we thank all the brave men and women for the service that they have given to our country. A country that allows religious freedom, a country that allows us to follow you in open faith and have open dialogue about following you and what your love and grace looks like. Father, I ask that you give the veterans who are overseas serving today safety, and for the veterans that are here in the country who are still moving on and trying to move past some of the things that they have been through in their life. Father, give them a day of peace and rest tomorrow. I hope that tomorrow is Veterans Day and people appreciating them is a healing, part of the healing process in the wounds that they still carry from their active time in the military. God bless them all, and we love them truly. Father, be with us today and keep us safe as we go into our weekend. Help us to have great moments of family and friend time that are memorable and valuable. We love you so much. Amen. And that, my friends, is a magnificent wrap to not just Friday, but the week of the morning routine. So thank you for being here. I hope that you enjoy your weekend and your Veterans Day tomorrow. And until Monday morning, don't forget that today, tomorrow, and Sunday, you have a great opportunity to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. See you on Monday.